Now, we're talking about specifically how AI could lead to this a new form of arms race. It's a new weapon that could be used, both defensively and offensively, of course. Now, we're yet to see how this could play out, but part of the reason why is because humans are no good at imagining the future. What humans do is we imagine better versions of what we have today. We have cars today. We'll have flying cars in the future. But we can't imagine or envision new things because we don't have the building blocks to build those things yet today. And so we just kind of imagine things. So when we can sit here and speculate, as I said, I was kind of reading this article from this Harvard researcher talking about how it could destroy civilization. Well, we don't really know how it could destroy civilization. He doesn't really point any ways in how that could do that. We just sort of have this speculation that, well, I guess I saw the movie Terminator when I was a kid, and so it could just destroy civilization like that. And maybe it could. I just don't think we're there yet, going back to that kind of narrow versus broad AI. But another article that came out this week, plenty of fear-mongering here. It says that soon AI will battle other AI in cyberspace. This is from an Israeli expert. He's predicting this, saying that artificial intelligence is expected to lead to a spike in cyber attacks. Now, one reason why I think this is important is because, of course, the World Economic Forum, good old Klaus Schwab and buddies, they just met in Davos a few weeks ago, and the one thing they kept talking about, well, climate change, misinformation, and cyber attacks. That's what they keep talking about. Cyber attacks, cyber attacks, cyber attacks. They're coming. They're planning. And, oh, now they're here. So we're starting to see this really start to pick up a lot of steam. And so is it that they're sort of conditioning for this to happen, so we're prepared for it when it happens, so we're prepared to give them the opportunity to save us from these cyber pandemics? We'll see. But basically, they're saying that AI could lead to an increase in that. And they're saying the reason why is because AI can create an infinite amount of content in seconds. Okay? But experts are already warning of an AI-based cyber attack. And they predict, these experts, supposedly experts, predict that only other AIs will be able to put a stop to them. So, again, back to the Terminator movie, the only way to stop the Terminator sent back in time was to send another AI Terminator back in time. And that's kind of what they're saying here. AI could create these cyber attacks, but the only way to stop this AI from cyber attacking would be to create another AI to put a stop to them. It says there was this event called Cyber Tech Tel Aviv in 2023. It just took place. And they said the world's top cybersecurity leaders came together to look at the problems and the solutions to combat these types of threats. So some of the things, for example, is like ChatGPT, which we were talking about, which could basically write essays, right? It can write summaries, it can write emails, it can write all these things. And they've put kind of gates or restrictions onto what ChatGPT can do. So, for example, you can't ask it to write hate speech. You can't ask it to write like racist things and things like that. And you also can't supposedly ask it to do things like create viruses and malware and things like that. So they've put these restrictions or these gateways on it to try to prevent it from being used for bad. But what this group found, CyberArk found, was that with a little bit of persistence, you could get ChatGPT to actually create malware. So like viruses for computers, which of course it's not supposed to be able to do. It says that the researchers managed to get ChatGPT to create malicious code, but also they found a way to hide that malicious code from your standard antivirus system in a way that is quite original. So not only did they use it to create a new one, but they also used it to create a new one that could be hidden from all known malware antivirus systems today. The thing that we have to understand is that technology is a tool. It's no different than a tool for, like a screwdriver, right? A set of tools to fix a car, a pair of scissors, a fork, right? And that screwdriver could be used for many things. It comes down to who picks that screwdriver up and how they decide to use it. You could obviously attack somebody and cause a lot of damage and harm with a screwdriver, or you could, open up a bottle, or you could fix something with it. And so it really comes down to it. And so when we have tools like this, the tools themselves are neutral. And this is why it kind of goes to this gun debate that's been raging forever. And a gun is also a tool. And so the proponents of guns would say that it's not what's in a man's hand, it's what's in a man's heart. Right? If somebody wants to kill somebody with a gun and you take away the gun, well, they could find any number of ways, any number of hundreds of other ways to kill someone, right? I mean, we all drive big vehicles. That's pretty dangerous. I mean, you can get any type of thing from hardware stores, and I'm not going to list those here, but you understand that you can't really stop someone. I mean, you can do it with your bare hands. And so it really always comes back down to what's in a man's heart, not what's in a man's hand. And so when we start looking at tools like this, they can put all types of gateways and checkpoints on there, but it also limits what we can do for good as well. So let's say that we're gonna give you a screwdriver, but it's if you go up to the mountains at all, I like to go snowboarding. I was just up in Vancouver snowboarding last week. And at like where the chairlifts are, where you get on and off the mountain, they have tools so you can like adjust your bindings and things like that, right? But the screwdrivers have a chain, and they're chained to the bench there. And so they could chain that screwdriver down so I couldn't go attack people in the line with it. But then it also limits what I'm able to do. If I needed to work on like a car, like a snowcat that came over, a snowmobile, the chain isn't long enough to go do that. And so we can put these checks, these gateways in, but then it limits what we're able to do in the potential chance that maybe a couple of people might try to do something crazy like create malicious code. Most of us would never even think about that. But they said that there's what they're saying is that there's even greater threats to cybersecurity because of this now. They said that according to the World Economic Forum, cyber attacks already increased by almost 40% last year. 40%. Now, of course, right, more people are using computers, more bad actors, and we're going to have more cyber attacks, I guess. But they're saying that they could rise exponentially over the coming year because of these AI models, because the average person now could write their own code and do this. And it says that the primary challenge for cybersecurity is that the attackers seem to be one step ahead. I've always wondered about this, right? Here's a quote here. AI-based attacks are going to be much more pervasive, much more adaptable, and much more rapid than they were in the past, and human defenders can't keep up with the pace. So think about that. The antivirus, the cybersecurity experts are trying to stay one step in front of the exploiters, but they can't do that. I've always wondered, how does the antivirus software stay in business if there aren't actually viruses? Could it be plausible that they could release the virus and then release the software? Of course, that would just be, that would be really, really bad, apparently, right?